The date today is September 9th, 2025. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Greetings, I am Giuliano. We are the Arcturians. So we are gathered here today to do our planetary healing meditations. And let's look at the planetary situation and identify the source, because usually we identify the symptoms and we are saying that we want to work with Gaia to lessen the imbalances and the symptoms, such as storms, fires, earthquakes, that continue to unsettle the planet and cause discomfort and sometimes even damage to plant and animal life throughout North America. My identification of the root of this problem, that is the root of the planetary crisis, is that the Earth is experiencing, the planet is experiencing a spiritual crisis. And part of the spiritual crisis is expressed through the ability to communicate with the spirit of the Earth, Gaia. Part of the spiritual crisis is the lack of ability to interact spiritually on other levels, even beyond the level of the planetary logos. But why is this happening now? And the answer is in the concept that I describe as the technology is become so much more advanced than the spirituality, that it is the imbalance has created the planetary crisis. And so if you look at individual symptoms, which we will look at today also, such as fires in many of the forests, or in the problems of the atmosphere and geoengineering effects that sometimes are creating great toxicity, then you can say that the real blockage is in humanity's inability to spiritually interact with the planet and spiritually interact with all of the cosmos. This is despite a time when there is unprecedented spiritual light available. This is at a time when many of the Ascended Masters are working overtime to bring down this light. And this is at a time when the receptivity to the spiritual light is blocked for a variety of reasons. And most of the blockages are due to things that are rather ego-based, such as self-centeredness, greed, and ability to, or the desire to dominate and control, instead of living in balance with the spirit of the planet. And so, from a bio-relativity planetary healing standpoint, the greatest intervention that we as planetary healers can do is to focus on a spiritual intervention for this planet and for North America, which we do, but I think that it needs to be intensified. And there are enough starseeds, there are enough sensitive people on the planet who understand what I'm saying and understand the concern of the Ascended Masters, which is that the spiritual energy must catch up to the technology. And to that end, we, the Arcturians, are bringing down our fifth dimensional light. And we are working with you as planetary healers to intensify and anchor this light in as many ways as possible. So take 3 deep breaths and go into a state of physical relaxation and go into a state of spiritual relaxation, where your chakras are in alignment, spinning properly. The spiritual molecule in your pineal gland and reticular activating systems are opening, where you are feeling a higher expanded consciousness and a higher receptivity. And I, Giuliano, bring down corridors of light from my Starship Athena to each of you who are participating in this meditation. Receive this corridor of light in your room now. And in this state of spiritual relaxation, you have the ability to thought project and travel through the corridor that I have sent you to my Starship Athena. We go to the Starship Athena because we have accelerated meditation centers there. We have sacred places that are able to interact interdimensionally. For one of the major solutions to this spiritual crisis is the opening of the dimensional corridors and the opening of the fifth dimensional light and energy to as many people as possible on this planet. So feel your spirit body rise up through the corridors of light that I, Giuliano, have sent down, and travel at the speed of thought through the corridor and come to my Starship Athena now. You arrive at the Starship Athena, and I and my colleague Helioa greet you as you enter this beautiful, highly evolved Starship Athena that has the interactive ability to bring you up here and to help you to coordinate and interact with the fifth dimensional Arcturian light and energy that we are providing. Walk down the hallway and come to the Gaia Planetary Healing Room and go into the room, and you see this beautiful holographic image of North America. And there, again, are at least 100 people in the Gaia Planetary Healing Room sitting around the holographic image. Some are starseeds from Earth. There are students of mine who are in training. There are Pleiadians, Andromedans, and higher Sirians. And we are working together today. So take a seat around the holographic image, which is zoomed in on North America. And first we look at the fires that are occurring throughout Canada, in the forests, and throughout California, Oregon, and some of the forests. And we ask Gaia for her help. And we bring down a white screen above the North America, and we are going to use that screen to project this affirmation. Gaia, please help to extinguish all existing fires and bring necessary moisture to all areas in need. Focus on that affirmation as we begin our meditation. We'll go into silence. We request from Gaia her help in extinguishing all fires in North America. And we ask that the necessary moisture and weather patterns begin now. All of these thoughts are projected onto the white screen, and at the count of 3, I download the white screen into the Earth's feedback loop system. And we have special access to the Earth's feedback loop system. So intensify your arcane power, and now that request is downloaded. And we look at the air patterns, the atmosphere, and we look at toxicity such as may be caused from chemtrails and other geoengineering experiments that could be contributing to the imbalances and the pollution in the air currents throughout Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And we ask that there be a cleansing of all atmospheric conditions so that purification of the atmosphere is achieved as soon as possible. Focus on that affirmation, purification of the atmosphere to combat all toxicities, especially those that are coming from man-made sources. We'll go back into silence. Oh. These sounds intensify our thought power. And the affirmation is sent, the second affirmation is sent to the Earth feedback loop system now. And Gaia receives this. And now for our next planetary intervention in North America. We want to raise the spiritual light quotient of all of North America. We want to raise the spiritual light quotient of the planet Earth. And one of the ways of raising the spiritual light quotient is to interact with Gaia. But also, another important method is to open up the corridors of light that are being sent by the Arcturians and other higher beings. And so, I'm going to ask Chief White Eagle to speak to you now about how we can accelerate the spiritual light quotient of this North America and planet Earth. Hey-a-ho, hey, hey-a-ho, hey, hey-a-ho, hey-a-ho, hey-a-ho. Greetings, I'm the Chief White Eagle. I feel the light from Mount Shasta. I feel the crystal etheric energy rising. And I feel the gathering of starseeds throughout North America. There are plenty of light workers. There are plenty of people open. And let us now come together with a special prayer to activate and to empower those who are in the higher spiritual light frequency. And let us empower that light frequency to greater receptivity in North America. So I, Chief White Eagle, call on the light of the sacred fifth dimensional teepee that is now over Mount Shasta. And I call on the light of the etheric crystal which is rising now over Mount Shasta. And I know that the Arcturians and other higher beings are working together to help emanate the higher spiritual frequencies of light from this Mount Shasta area to all of North America. So, in our prayers and in our meditation, visualize with me the huge spiritual light, the healing planetary light that is being now emanated from Mount Shasta crystal and the etheric teepee in Mount Shasta to all of the leaders in North America, to all of the starseeds, to all of the indigo children, so that there will be this awakening and raising of spiritual light energy. We will go into silence as you visualize with me the emanation of this light from this Mount Shasta area. We will go into silence. Father, Mother, Creator of all, we thank you for this opportunity to accelerate our light frequencies and higher spiritual energies. And may they all be emanating through North America, raising the spiritual light quotient, raising the ability to spiritually interact with Gaia, and helping to create a beautiful new spiritual evolutionary leap for humanity at this time. Hey-ho, hey-ho, hey-ho. The etheric crystal at Mount Shasta will be up for the next 6 hours. You will return to your earth bodies, but know that this energy is being radiated at a tremendous quantum force that will have a great effect on the spiritual and raising the spiritual light quotient energy field of North America. I return you to Giuliano. All my words are sacred. We are all brothers and sisters. Ho! So it is great to have the Chief White Eagle energy at this needed time. And may the receptivity also increase. It is time to leave the Gaia Chamber Planetary Room. You stand up, embrace your friends and other Ascended Masters that you are comfortable with. Walk out of the room, down the hallway, and to the portal or doorway from which you entered my starship. And filled with this new light frequency, you travel at the speed of thought through the corridor back to a place 6 feet above your physical body. Put yourself in perfect alignment, your spirit body with your physical body. And know as you re-enter, you're bringing a higher spiritual consciousness and higher spiritual light frequency to your aura, to your energy field as well, as you will be emanating this frequency of light that is based on the Mount Shasta etheric crystal. I am Giuliano. As you re-enter and open your eyes, good day.